we move on to react to Pochettino's training session, already becoming more intense, according to Antonee Robinson. So Mauricio Pochettino, he's doing his first training sessions with the U.S. men's national team. Since he was officially announced a few weeks ago, and apparently it was a tough and intense training session. Um, Tough and intense training session. We know the style of play that Pochettino has. It's a high energy level of football. High intensity pressing, playing a high line, playing out of the back, the modern way of football, and they want to play. Mauricio Pochettino wants to play good, pleasing, attacking football, and it's a very, very intense sort of thing, and it is and it's gonna be interesting how Pochettino can deliver these tactics, deliver this approach to this in short intervals of time that he does, because this is his first time with the international team. I do have to say Nagelsmann, not exactly the same, but similar style of play to Pochettino. He was able to, install his tactics and preparation into Germany in a short matter of span, and he made them a dangerous outfit in the European Championship, I do have to say. So there is that, and that's also Julian Nagelsmann, who never managed at the international level. So I have optimism, I do have to say, because number one, we have a real manager. With the Greg Berhalter, we didn't have a proper manager. We have a proper manager now. There's no two ways about it. We have a manager in which he understands tactics, he understands player, personnel. He understands, he's going to be able to make in-game adjustments, no daft decisions. He'll make the right substitutions. The mentality, he'll fix any mentality issues amongst the team. That in itself is just a huge, huge upgrade over Pochettino. What's his name? Over Greg Berhalter. Simple as that. And I'm looking forward to seeing this team that, now for the first time, since Berhalter been in, I do have to say, I didn't really have much of that joy when the U.S. men's international team was coming up. The international window was coming up. I didn't have much joy. The Copa America, I do have to say, entering 2016 Copa America, huge, huge joy. I was so excited. When it comes to that 2024 Copa America, I wasn't excited at all. I was not excited at all. In my mind, I already knew the outcome before it even began. And Greg Berhalter, he sucked the life out of it for me. And not only Pochettino is a brilliant, brilliant manager, but he also brings some hope for us U.S. men's national team fans. He brings hope. He brings the excitement back. I think he'll fix the mentality issues in the team that was prevalent in that Copa America. We know the issues that they had. The mentality issues. In fact, players like Christian Pulisic called it out afterwards. There's a huge, huge problem, and there was a huge, huge problem, and I think that's something Pochettino will nip in the bud, and he'll fix it. And Pochettino has some, good players as well. He has Christian Pulisic, playing the best football of his career. We have a Weston McKennie, who's still the best midfield player we have, who's starting to get more and more, on the right side with Thiago Motta at Juventus. With Thiago Motta at Juventus, getting a little bit more comfortable with him. The U.S. men's national team has Yunus Musa playing for AC Milan, has Pepe, Fuller, and Balogun. There's real quality now with the U.S. men's national team in this international break. A lot of injuries to some key players. Tyler Adams, Sergino Dest. We know with him it's a longer term injury with that. Cameron Carter-Vickers. In fact, not just Cameron Carter-Vickers. There was Cameron Carter-Vickers, and then there was a second center half. I believe Chris Richards is actually also out for this international window. I believe so. Yeah, I think it's Chris Richards. Chris Richards with a hamstring injury. Chris Richards, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Fuller and Balogun. A lot of key injuries that the U.S. has. So obviously Pochettino, he's not gonna have the full set of players, and it's a little bit of a pity because, you know, you want everybody to be into this, in this, at least the first camp. You want, you know, you more time the players have with Pochettino. The quicker that they'll be able to pick up the tactics, that they'll pick up exactly what Pochettino wants and expects from them. So obviously from that element, it's a pity, but it also gives a chance for these other, players that maybe wouldn't have that opportunity to impress Mauricio Pochettino and to show him what they got. I do have to say, I think Tyler Adams, that's a player I think Pochettino will really, really love. The energy he has in midfield. But the problem with Tyler Adams is he's been out for so long, and he's just not on the field enough. And he's said to be almost ready for Bournemouth return, but it's just almost a feeling of, okay, then what's going to come next? And that's a pity as well, because Tyler Adams, that is a perfect player for Pochettino, because he'll do the defensive work in there. He's capable for dropping in between the center halves and doing the defensive work. He's capable of protecting fullbacks, pushing up the field, covering their spaces. In midfield, doesn't have the most quality, but isn't, in terms of, dictating play as a number 6, he's nowhere near the likes of a Rodri or, or Zubin Mendy or anything like that. But he has defensive work rate to him, and he's comfortable on the ball. He's able to drive the ball forward. He doesn't give you much in terms of his passing range and his, just pure technical ability. But man, he's a hard worker, and he's defensively perfect in front of a back four to protect them, especially if you're going to play this high intensity style of play. Tyler Adams has the lungs to play that. But can he stay on the field? Is he the same player that he was before all these injuries? That remains to be seen. And there's no surprise that the training sessions have been more intense. What did we expect? We've seen the way Chelsea play. We've seen the way Tottenham play. Under Mauricio Pochettino, they have that intensity. And it's Mauricio Pochettino's calling card, and it's what made him the manager that he is today. Now, I do want to know if he'll dial down how intense this style of play is, because number one, when you have players at the club, you can get everybody's fitness levels to the proper level to what is expected of the way Pochettino wants to play. But with them playing in, when this being an international team and you're having short intervals with them, he's not going to be able to get these players at the fitness level like he was able to do at Tottenham in preseason. Doesn't really have a 6-week preseason to get these U.S. men's national team at peak fitness levels to be able to play this system. So is he going to dial it back because of that? Is he also going to dial back certain things because of the personnel? Again, the U.S. men's national team in terms of quality, is at a good point in their history, but they don't have the quality of a Tottenham, Chelsea, PSG, So with that, does that affect the way he goes about it affects the way that they go after it in these games? That's also a real big question I have. And on top of that, the U.S. men's national team, they don't have center halves that are comfortable on the ball besides Tim Ream, who's pretty decent, and they definitely don't have a goalkeeper who's comfortable on the ball. Pochettino does like playing out of the back. Is that something he's willing to adapt on, to be willing to go long? There's a lot of questions that remains to be seen, and I'm looking forward to these games against Panama and Mexico to see, so we can see it. I have to be 100% honest. I'm excited for the U.S. men's national team, and I have been able to say that for a while.